षोडशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः गोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ त्रयोदशाध्यायः। We are into chapter 13. From chapter 13 onwards, I find Gita is divided into three major sections. First section talks about Ishvara as a Jiva Swarupa. The second portion, 7 to 12, talks about Ishvara Swarupa. And the third, the final portion, talks about Aikyam. The text follows a very unique form. It is very common to scriptural teachings. They follow what is called as a system of teaching called Sankshipta, Vistara, Sankshipta. That means the entire vision will be given to you in chapter 2. Entire vision. No holds barred. Total vision given to you in chapter 2. Sankshipta. Then, between chapter 3 and chapter 17, it is elaborately discussed. Vistara. And then in chapter 18, again Sankshipta. So it follows a pattern of Sankshipta, Vistara, Sankshipta. It is called Upakrama Upasamhar. Summary, elaboration, summary. Like you read news items, no? Headlines for today. And then at the end of the day, coming back to the headlines once more. So in the same way, it follows a system called Upakrama Upasamhar. That's a sign of a scripture. Then, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, what will you do? That is called Prayojanam. Especially scriptures. What will this scripture give you? Prayojanam. Okay. Then comes the third important item. Apurvata. What is discussed in the Gita will be something unique, not run of the mill stuff, not which you will get elsewhere. If you don't get in this department store, you can go and get in other department store. It is something apurva. What is apurva? What is apurva? What is the apurvata about Bhagavad Gita? That you are a significant being. You are what you really want to be. There is no becoming. You are. कुछ बनना नहीं है. आप हो. You are that. So that is the apurvata. So upakrama upasamhar prayojanam apurvata. Then you will have what is called abhyasa. Abhyasa means a lot of repetition will be there. A lot of things will be repeated several times. And the purpose of repetition is reiteration so that you get it into memory, not that you have to look into the book. Suppose you ask what when you want some, you ask the teacher for some clarification. The teacher he may consult the book, but he knows. So in that way, there should be abhyasa, lot of repetition. Okay, and what is the repetition? It will be given Jiva Swarupa, Ishvara Swarupa, Aikyam, Guna, Sadguna, Satkarma, Upasana, Karma Yoga. It'll keep coming again and again and again. It'll keep coming. Viveka Vairagya, Raga Dvesha, Bhakti, and Arjuna's questions will also filter. It is called Abhyasa. Abhyasa means it should become something like muscle memory. It gets into the system. So it is called Abhyasa. Then you have what is called Apana. One more thing. What is that called? Arthavada. Arthavada means it will be glorified. What is available here, you will not get anywhere. Glorification. Raja Vidya. Raja Guhya Yoga. It's a secret. It's a king among secrets. So it will be called Arthavada. And the sixth one is called Upapatti. Upapatti means tenability. It is tenable. You can criticize it. If you criticize, then you will not be, what do you call, condemned for blasphemy or anything like that. You can criticize. You can ask questions. It is meant to ask questions because it is not a belief system. It is not a belief system. Gita comes and tells you, you are whole. WHOL. You are the significant being. You are a conscious being. You are limitless. No, you are Satyam, you are Jnanam, you are Anantam, you are Brahma. This is what Gita is telling you. It is subject. You can say, how can it be? It is revealing it to you. You can't say, I don't believe it, because it's not a belief system. Then somebody living there doing this for you, after death you will come to me. All those humbug bunkum is not there here. No, nothing. It is you are that. At best you can say it is not clear to me. Samajh mein nahi aata. How can I be that? Then I can give you parihara for how to get yogyata, how to get the preparedness. It is subject. It's available for criticism. So it is. These are called Shadlinga. 6 important limbs of a scripture. Upakrama upasamhar prayojanam. Then upakrama upasamhar prayojanam abhyasa arthavada. You have to remember. Always good to remember. Yeah. Upakrama upasamhar prayojanam apurvata abhyasa Arthavada, Upapatti. These are called Shadlinga. So there will be a lot of repetition because of Abhyasa. In chapter 13, the teacher, here the teacher is Sri Krishna himself, Narayana Swayam, is unfolding three important areas. Kshetragya, the knower. Kshetra, the field. Okay. Jnanam, the means and qualifications required for knowing. Three areas are being unfolded for the student. Kshetra, Kshetrakya, Vibhaga. Know the difference between Kshetra and Kshetragya. And for knowing that, you need some basic qualification. You can't appreciate something. So you will see very often it comes these days in all the social media platform. You will see there's a mathematic quiz. 18 plus 6 into 3 minus 3. Put left to right. The answer is wrong. Because you have to follow a system. 16 to 3 you have to do first. Okay. Then what it will come to? 6 into 3. 6 into 3, 6, 18. First is 18. 18 plus 18, 36. Minus the last 3. So 33. That's how the answer should come. It's called following a BODMAS method. It is not dumb like that you cannot do. So for that you need a certain preparedness for knowing. So this is handled. And up to verse number 12, Krishna was talking about, first he talked about jnanam, that is what is required, what are the preparedness. First he said, I'm going to explain what is kshetram and kshetragya. Then he told what are the preparedness required for you to appreciate this. Then from verse number 13, he started explaining the kshetragya. Now we're coming to verse number 17, 18. He is not trying. The teacher is concluding on kshetragya, the knower. It is not difficult. Okay, please let's understand. It is not difficult. Especially not difficult for our group. Because you're all with me for how many chapters now? We are in 13 chapters, 196 talks. From 2020 onwards, many of you are with us. And some of you have joined later, but you're all accomplished Uttama Adhikari. You are all qualified people to understand Atma Vidya. That's why you have lasted 13 chapters. Otherwise, you would have given up long back, gone to some other, searching for something else. Searching for some experience, orientation, would have gone. And only the people who are serious, and they are bringing in more people because it's making sense to you. That's why you are logging in. Last week, I got so many calls, sir. What happened? Then I put there's a technical glitch. So people are adhikaris here, qualified adhikaris here. It is not difficult, but the whole thing is a little subtle. Sukshma. Ati sukshma. Therefore, you have to carefully be with the teacher. And after being with the teacher, I would say be with the teaching, not with the teacher. Because what I have learned is only from my teachers. And it's a teaching, it's an unfoldment. Nothing is my idea. It's done down from parampara. What my teacher taught me, I'm unfolding to you. Trying to be as close to the way my teacher told me. Not either udhar me. Maybe some examples are different. But otherwise, I'm sticking to how my teacher taught. And even today, even if I have a doubt, I read my teacher's book. Without reading this, I won't even go further. It is Bhagavad Gita by Sri Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Without reading this, I won't even travel without going anywhere without this. So that's a kind of the teaching. It is not an individual, it's a teaching. And the teaching is subtle. Okay. So let us see what it has to say. Let's do a quick recap so far. We have done what are the jnanam required. Jnanam required means what is the qualification required, what's the eligibility standards, amanitvam, adambitvam. That is related to a peaceful person, a person with no vanity, humility, calmness. So many things were given to you. And then the Kshetragya was described. Let us see about the Kshetrajya. Up to 16 we studied. That is, okay, let's start before we go into 17. This is my example which I use. My teacher also used it. This is something to be known. It's an object of my knowledge. Object. It is called prameya, something which is to be known. Object of knowledge. The knowledge of this is called prama. I am paramatri, the knower. And what is the means I am using? Pramana. I am using my visual perception to know this. To know something, I need prameya, prama, an effective means of knowledge, pramana, and the pramatri. These are the four things needed. To know the world of objects, to know everything in this world, you need pratyaksha pramana, eyes for seeing, ears for hearing, and paroksha pramana, two types of means of knowledge. Pratyaksha pramana, paroksha pramana. Pratyaksha pramana means operating of sense organs and knowing it directly. Pratyaksha. Paroksha pramana is I hear about it. Indirect means of knowledge. These are the two means. For knowing anything in this world, you either use pratyaksha and or paroksha. And what is this chapter talking about? The chart that this chapter is talking about knowledge of the knower. Careful, okay? This is not prameya. You can't use ordinary pramana. Okay. This is knowledge of pramatri. And how will you know the pramatri? To the another means of knowledge. You have to use an appropriate pramana. To know yourself, what will you use? Eyes? Pratyaksha? Inferential knowledge? Will you use that? Because of all the inferences and assumptions, we are into all kinds of problems these days. Isn't it? You assume you are somebody. You try to get out of that assumption. Other fellow says, no, you are okay in the first place. Then you cultivate all kinds of jargon. I am a 2025 second half version in another 6 or 3 months, 1.5 months, you will say that. I am the version number 2.1 is over. So 2.2 of 2025. You are a version of yourself. What point of view? And then 2000 version will change. Struggle. Conflict. Samsara. So to know yourself, you have to use an appropriate means of knowledge. That appropriate means of knowledge is called Veda Pramana. Guru Mukhena. It is available in the Vedas. Vedanta Pramana. Not even Veda. Vedanta Pramana Guru Mukhena. It is available to you in the form of words. The Guru operates and employs these words in such a way that knowledge takes place. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of your own self. Knowledge of yourself is not like knowing an object. Any object that I know is different from me. I can always objectify it. I can experience it. But how can you experience yourself? You are in fact experiencing yourself all the time. It is you that you are, in fact, it is only because of you that you are experiencing everything else. How can you objectify the objectifier? The eyes can see everything but itself. You need a reflecting medium to see your eyes. The face, to see your face, you need a reflecting medium. So first the Vedanta Pramana is a reflecting medium. And when let's say you go outside, you bring a mirror home. You hang the mirror, you find a good quality mirror, you find the mirror for reflection, not for all its glossy makeup. Okay, you find a good mirror, then you hang on the wall. And thereafter, what do you use it daily? Thereafter, the mirror is no longer important. Your reflection, you see only a reflection. You don't see the mirror. Vedanta is such a mirror which reflects you. Pramatre. The Guru unfolds. The Guru reveals to you using what is called Shabda Pramana. By words known to you, by removing the meanings that you have already attributed, by removing these meanings which you already know, he uses the words in such a way that knowledge takes place. That is the method of teaching that Sri Krishna is following here. It is a teaching. And remember, what is the beauty of the teaching? You don't have to come back to the teacher every time. A guru is a person who gives freedom to the Sishya. Thereafter, you don't have to go to the Guru and say, Sir, I have come to see you. You do it out of gratitude. The Guru doesn't expect you to come back. If he expects you to come back, then he has not done his job. Okay. Guru gives you freedom. Freedom means freedom from himself. Freedom from dependence on anybody. Thereafter, if I go to my Guru, it's just because out of, he has given me something which nobody else could have given. That's why I go back to my Guru. Not because of dependency on the Guru. So teaching is something which makes you free. Once you are free, there is no requirement for you to come back to me, the teacher. That is the beauty of teaching. Should be like that. Teaching should be like that. There is a beautiful Upanishad called Kathopanishad. Some point of time, perhaps we will read it. It says how a teacher should be, Yamaraja, and how a student should be, Nachiketa. Amazing book. Amazing Upanishad. We should read it some. Perhaps we not all Ishvara. So let's see what this verse has to say about Atma, about the Pramatre, the knower. What is another name for Pramatre? Kshetrajna. Pramatre, Kshetrajna, another name, Atma. Okay, what does he say? Verse number 17. Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam nyeyam jnanagamyam kriti sarvasya vishtitam vishishtitam. Yeah. Vishishtitam. Yeah. Once more. Jyotishamapi tad jyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam nyeyam jnanagamyam kriti sarvasya vishtitam. Okay. Jyotisham abhi jyoti, the light of lights. It is said. Okay, it is said. You'll see the meaning. Beyond ignorance. It is knowledge. It is that which has to be known. It is that which is arrived at by knowledge, and it is present in all the minds of all. This is how the translation is. Let's see. Let's see how it is unfolded by the teacher. Jyotisham api jyoti, light of lights. What is light of lights? Careful analysis, subtle analysis. Just bear with me. Okay, I might not be as clear as my Guru was. If it is not clear, we will work again. Okay, just bear with me. You see something in the medium of light. The light reveals itself. Okay, the light reveals itself, and opaque items are revealed by the light. Now in darkness, you won't be able to see this. There is light, so it is revealed. So this is an opaque object revealed by light. Now what reveals the light? Okay. Is the light self-revealing? Have you seen those glowworms? Night they come into your house. You should live in cities. No, there is no glow there. No, only worms are there. All the glow is gone. So sometimes, in villages you have nice village houses. You will have at night. You will see some fireflies will come into the house. It will keep glow. It has got. It's a source of light. It has a source of light. Now, is that source of light self-evident? Self-evident means evident by another source. Okay, be with me. This is evident to me by a source of light. Okay. So that source which makes this evident is that source self-evident? Yeah. Think. Self-evident means it should be evident to me whether I am having my eyes open or closed. There is a source of light here. I close my eyes. There is it evident. Jnana. Therefore, that source of light is not the source, a self-evident source. That itself is illumined by another source. That source is called consciousness. Chaitanyam. Okay? Let's carefully. Let's not be in a hurry at all. Chaitanyam. How does it work? Are you aware of your childhood? Yeah? Is it just memory? Are you aware of all the events that happened in your life? Some of them are forgotten, some of them are there. You are aware of it. Is it just memory? Okay. Did you sleep last night? Of course I did. Slept very well. I slept so well that I didn't realize it was raining. Now, you are aware of your waking state. You are aware of your dream. Yeah, I saw something in my dream. I saw something in my dream. This happened, this happened. This was good. That part was not so good. This part was disturbing. I couldn't make sense. I couldn't make a meaning out of my dream. That means there is a knower which has objectified the dream. There was a state. There is a state. Jagrat avastha, swapna avastha, sushupti avastha, where you are in deep sleep. You did not know anything. How do you know you did not know anything? Careful. How do you know that you did not know anything during that time period? Careful. So there is a consciousness. There is a conscious, yeah, beautiful. There is a conscious being who objectified my absence of cognition during the period that I was deep asleep. There is this conscious being. That conscious being is being referred to by the word Jyotisham api Jyoti. The light behind all lights. Because of that light alone, everything else is evident to me. I am the only self-evident being. Everything else is evident to me. Tat Brahma Nishkalamaham. I am that only self-evident being. If you find I am that a little difficult, it's going to take time, you can say Atma is that only self-evident being. Ishvara is that self-evident being. You will have to come to the effect finally and say I is equal to Atma is equal to Ishvara. This is called Nididhyasanam. This is how you own up the knowledge. Yeah, I am finding it difficult to say I am the only conscious. Okay, start. Consciousness is the only being. Atma is the only being. Ishvara is the only being. Start like that. Then you say, if Ishvara was a being, is he different from me? You will, okay. Ishvara different from me? Because if Ishvara were different from me, I knocked the door and Krishna walked in and sat here. Krishna will be an object of my knowledge. Krishna is evident to me, and I can dismiss Krishna by closing my eyes. ये क्या logic हुआ? This kind of bluff won't work in Vedanta. So if Krishna is evident to me, I am not looking at Krishna as an object. I am looking at Krishna's form, which is evident to me. In content, Krishna is consciousness, not different from me. Aham is equal to Atma, is equal to Ishvara. This is how we do Nididhyasanam. Jyotisham abhijyoti. Anything that is illumined to you is this Jyoti, is because of this consciousness. He says, little more subtle. Tamasas paramuchyate. See, so far, I did not know that there was a language, a particular language. There's a language. I met a person long. He's from a country called Lithuania. So he spoke a language called Lithuania, something from there, Lithuanian. So till such time, I didn't know there was a language called Lithuanian, a Lithuanian language. So it is not like ignorance of Lithuanian language. Then in knowledge, that ignorance is gone. When I say Jyotisham api Jyotish and Tamasa paramuchyate, it is beyond ignorance. Param beyond is not the right word for it. Tamasa paramuchyate. That means in my consciousness, both knowledge and ignorance obtain. Okay. I am conscious of knowledge. I am conscious of ignorance as well. I am conscious that I am ignorant of something. That ignorance is also objectified. Both knowledge and ignorance are in my consciousness. Otherwise, what will we'll run into a small loop here. I am knowledge as opposed to ignorance. No, both knowledge and ignorance I am conscious of. Jyotisham api jyotihi tamasa paramuchyate. What else? Then you told me, you asked me in the beginning, he tells Arjuna, you wanted to know what was jnanam. I've told you what is jnanam. Amanitvam madam pitvam ahimsa shanti rarjavam. I told you what is jnanam. I also told you what is jnayam, what is to be known. Okay, I told you that jnanam, jnayam, and jnana gamyam. Okay, jnana gamyam. So, knowledge, how does certain things, you arrive at by using certain means of knowledge. That knowledge, jnana gamyam, hridi, in your heart, sarvasya vishishtam. Careful understand is necessary. A little careful analysis. Don't get, I will not say don't get confused. It's a little subtle. Let's spend some time. Okay, it's all very beautifully explained. Okay, I know this object. I am conscious of this object. How do I know this object? My eyes see. Okay. Then what do the eyes do? They create what is called a vritti. This object is created. This object is created in the mind. And that object thought is in the mind. So now I look at this object. I find this useful. The object vritti, the object thought is created. All that is associated with this object is created. How useful it will be. All those things are associated with that. And where are all that? They are all in the mind. They are all in my mind. Do you know your mind? So the mind also is an object of the knowledge, the jnanam, okay, knowledge, okay, the values, and what is to be known by knowledge. All of them are available to me as object. They are all in my consciousness. That is the nature of the pramatra. Everything is in my consciousness. A little more careful. I am conscious of the whole cosmos. So there is a universe. It's big, huge. Okay? And then you are aware of the various constellations. You're aware of the various galaxies. And then out of all this huge thing, we have carved something out for ourselves. Small. Your universe, our universe, we have carved out for ourselves. And out of that universe, what I have done, I have created a lot of relationships in that universe. I like this, I don't like this. I want this, I don't want this. And this is how my life is. And this is an inquiry into the whole cosmic whole is in my consciousness. The small thing is also in my consciousness. So the whole universe, the small world, cosmos of mind, they are all Kshetram. Who is the person who knows this? Kshetragya, the knower. And that knower cannot be objectified because he is not available for objectification. You have to insightfully claim the knower as your very being. How do you claim? The first thing you are aware of when you wake up from your sleep. What are you aware of? Aham. And on what basis do you say I was not aware of anything? Aham. Okay. I am there. Aham asti. I am. So this it is not even a thought. The conscious I, you have to deliberately own up first thing in the morning. The moment the sleep breaks, anytime the sleep breaks, what is available is consciousness. Consciousness first and everything else comes later. Consciousness. Only then you are available of you are aware of your ahankara. Ahankara means a small self. You are a doctor, you are a child accountant, you are this, you are that, you are aware of only after that. So that awareness I am. That's what the teacher is taking you. Okay, 17. Jyotisham api jyotihi. Now, the light is the light is this light. They say this is the ultimate illuminator. Everything else is known in this light, Jyoti, and this Jyoti is you. That's what the teacher tries. Let's look at the next verse number 18. After the teacher says, Iti Kshetram Tata Jnanam Yeyam Choktam Samasataha Madbhakta Etat Vigyaya Madbhavayopapadyate. Once more. iti kshetram tata jnanam yeyam choktam samasatah madbhakta etat vigyaya madbhavayopapadhyate. Words. Iti kshetram. So thus samasatah uktam. I have briefly explained to you. What have I explained to you? Kshetram tata jnanam nyeyam. I have explained to you the field of knowledge, the eligibility required for the field of knowledge, and the eligibility required to understand the field of knowledge, and jnanam, and the kshetra. I have explained to kshetragya, and the eligibility. I have explained to you all three in a brief manner. How will it come to you? Okay. So he says, who will get it? Who will be able to get it perfectly, 100% without any? All of us have got it to some extent, but we are not able to retain it. Okay, we'll see why we are not able to retain it. And what should we do to retain it all the time? Does it run your life? Just as other things run my life, the Atma Vidya doesn't run my life. That's a problem. We are not able to retain. Why we are not able to retain it? Krishna explains. He says, Mad Bhakta Etat Vidyaya. Knowing this clearly, okay, Mat Bhavaya Upapadyate. So he must be a Mad Bhakti. You must have Bhakti in Ishvara. Okay, these words are used, but we have to be very, very carefully understand these words. Mad Bhakta, the one who is my Bhakta, is one who is able to clearly understand me in reality, in understand me properly. That's what the teacher says. Let's see how to relate it. What is this Mad Bhakta? Mad Bhakta means I have Ishvara. Every morning I say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 10 crore times I Om Namah Shivaya, it will start working for you. Mad Bhakta here means one whose purpose is very clear. See, everybody uses this expression, no point of view. A point of view is a point of view only if the view is clear. Otherwise, it's all distortion. Be very clear about it. Okay. So it is one who must know me clearly. Each one of us seekers here must clearly know what is the purpose of my life. Absolute clarity without distraction. That's वो कहते हैं ना वही beginning में ही गड़बड़ है, they say in Hindi. शुरुआत में ही shaky. Okay, they say in Tamil, முதலே கோணல். Be right in the beginning, it's all twisted and distorted. We have to be very clear about what is one's goal in life. What is the ultimate goal in your life, in each one of our life? Is it making money? Is it creating a family? Is it building a house? Nourishing children? Help them grow? Let them lead their own lives? Let them lead their own lives. No, you want to run their lives. There are people who have bought house for themselves, for their children, their grandchildren. Now they are buying for their great-grandchildren. Is that the goal in life? Getting a retirement corpus is your goal in life? And some pension, is it a goal in life? Think. One has to think. Why does one want all this? Why do you want a handsome pension? Through this handsome pension, I want a comfortable. Why do you want a comfortable life? I want to live in peace. What is this living in peace? One needs to inquire. On inquiry, it leads, the Vedantic Shastra leads you, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nasti akrita kritena. What you want to achieve in life is not available in the route that you have chosen to achieve. Nasti akrita kritena. The route which you are taking is not the route which you should take for the real purpose in one's life. Now, what is this purpose in one's life? Vyasa, reiteration. What is the purpose? To discover the limitlessly happy being that I am. I can't become the limitlessly happy, because if there is something called limitless, I must be included in that. If there is something called totally significant, I must be included in that. If there is something called whole, I must be included in that. The purpose of my life, of one jiva's life, is to discover that I am the only significant being. And because I don't have clarity that I am the significant being, I suffer from self inadequacy. And it is to get out of that self inadequacy that I pursue all the things that I am pursuing. Mad Bhakta is a person who is clear about what he wants, what he or she wants in one's life. If the main purpose is clear, all other purposes will align itself. You will get clarity. You will get clarity of the consciousness that you are. Once the what is the main purpose of your life? To know I am that consciousness. If all other pursuits are aligned to preparing me for knowing that I am that total consciousness, you will get it. It's a guarantee. Bhagavan says guarantee. He says, see, normally when people know they are going to win, a gamble, they will stake all. They say, stake all, up the ante. But there is always a chance that you could lose that gamble. Here is that stake all for knowing that you are all. Can you ever lose? That's what the teacher wants to say. Stake all for the ultimate purpose in one's life. Mad Bhakta. That is Mad Bhakta. If you find your consciousness difficulty, align it to Ishvara. Create an Ishvara. You have already created. Create an Ishta Devata. Align all your activities towards an Ishta Devata. When you align all your activities towards Ishta Devata, all your other activities will get aligned and you will find a lot of meaning in life. That is the preparatory ground for Mad Bhakta. So for a basic upasana, that is a good way to start. From Ishta Devata Upasana, you go to Vishwarupa Deva Upasana. You understand the whole thing as Ishvara, earlier chapters. And then you come to that place where I am no different from Ishvara, knowing myself as I am. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the goal. If that goal is clear, you will understand. If that goal is clear, you will understand Jnanam. What is to be done for getting that? What is to be known, you will understand, and you will also get knowledge of that. That is an assurance. That is what Bhagavan, the teacher, says. And what the teacher says very clearly, every teacher will tell you this. Any teacher of Vedanta will tell you, unless you are committed to knowing what is the purport of Vedanta, you are only playing at the periphery. Yeah, I've learned. So there's people who comment. I've read commentaries of all 11 Upanishads. You'll be able to quote. This is the order, sir. This is what he says. This is what he says. This is what he says. It says, what do we call it? A well ventilated, going in and going out. Well ventilated system. I have gone through. You have gone through, but has it gone through you? It has gone through you in such a way that it went in this way and went out that way. It made no difference to your life, let alone being a significant difference. It made no difference. I continue to be the same old fellow with a little bit of extra information to quote here and there. It makes no difference. So teacher says, be committed, be clear about the very purpose of this Vedantic study. Then I assure you it will work. We will see the coming verses 19 onwards. We will see how it works, how you and I can relate. Because all of us say, sir, I've got so many things to do. I've got work, I've got family, I've got this coming, all of us have things coming. All of us have got a lot of things to do. We have commitments. But all those commitments align to our main purpose. That's what we have to accept. We'll see in the coming days. If they are not aligned, how to align them? That's what we have to see. We'll see in the coming days. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmane deshugamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalinim desho yam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Hara Hara. All this takes time. One needs to have time. We also need space here. The inner leisure and a mind free from preoccupation for it to allow to settle down and start working. Be patient, have Shraddha. You will see it work for yourself. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you so much, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Shri
Thank
Ram.
you, sir.
Jai
Thank
Shri
you,
Ram.
sir.